Welcome. Welcome, everyone, to the Radio Toons podcast. How's it going?
It's going good, man.
I'm Steve.
I'm Ernie.
Okay, so a lot of things happened this week, and I just want to say for the record, the only thing I care about at BlizzCon is Overwatch.
Right.
So that's all you're going to hear about. Okay.
I think that's pretty much what everybody cares.
I heard that there was this whole big debacle about Diablo on phones that people were really upset about. Did you hear about that?
I did. It's first of all, it's why even bring it to phone, really?
I don't know.
But, other than that, it was just people bitching about the game's functionality on, phone.
Yeah.
I could care less.
I heard about Warcraft 3 Reforged, which from the title I assume is just a remake of Warcraft 3. So
I just blocked all that out, to be honest.
I have no
idea what that is about.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are very fond of Warcraft 3 though, because that started a lot of that's where Footman Frenzy and a lot of just custom games.
Yes.
Games from and people grew off of that. I'm not sure. I might be completely wrong on this. I'm not an expert, but there was some version of really early on MOBAs in Warcraft 3. It was a custom game.
Pretty
mode.
sure that's true. A lot of the stuff that came out of Blizzard after the fact was just based on communities making certain areas for certain types of gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I remember that game. I played Warcraft 3 a tiny bit. Mm-hmm. I remember we owned it. We had the Frozen Throne expansion too.
Yeah.
And I only got it because I had friends at the time that fucking loved Warcraft 3.
I remember that.
That's all they would do all fucking day. It was that and Counter-Strike, and I was I tried to play Counter-Strike. I still couldn't get into it. I mean, I tried to play both those games.
Counter-Strike is fine.
You like Counter-Strike? You know what?
I did. And then it was it was. I had just gotten a 360, and it was one of the games that came out for it. It was the orange box, and then it was CS:GO came out on it.
No, I think you're talking about. I remember on the was it original Xbox?
Was it original Xbox?
We had a Counter-Strike for Xbox.
Yeah.
And it had.
I thought it was part of the orange box.
I don't know actually, but I remember that you would play that Counter-Strike a lot.
Dude,
on console.
I played it so much.
I remember that, and there was because I remember you eventually got it for PC, and you got the Condition Zero skins and all that stuff. And
right.
All that shit. Whatever. Anyway, it's funny that we brought that up because I've been trying to play CS:GO recently.
Really? Why?
Just because, I'm not a first-person shooter guy. I only play Overwatch, which I don't really consider a first-person shooter because it's not all shooty all the time.
Right.
It's characters like Mercy or Winston, they don't even have to aim. It's more about decision-making and helping out the team than just straight up DPS all the time or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But I've been trying to play Counter-Strike because I was just maybe it'll help me improve my aim or something. And that game is just a whole other fucking beast. Yeah. I completely forgot, a lot of things about that game, one of which being that, weapons have recoil.
Yes.
So, you have a crazy rate of fire, but, at the cost of, recoil. So you're constantly having to, adjust your mouse to, fight the recoil of the weapon, which is something that's pretty much unheard of in Overwatch. So that to me was a little bit jarring. But I will say I got pretty bored of it. Like I said, I'm not a shooty guy. I don't really. It just doesn't really appeal to me as much. Mm-hmm. That game in general, just I'm nitpicking obviously, but it's just not as satisfying to get kills in that game to me and whatever. Sound design in Overwatch is amazing. But anyway, speaking of Overwatch, everyone's favorite cowboy, is that what he is? Yeah, he's a cowboy. He got his own cinematic short.
Finally.
Yeah. Which I was I had said, I think last week, mm-hmm. that that was the one that they were really hinting at McCree getting his own thing. And I was I'm going to go crazy if they do that. And they in fact did, and I in fact did go crazy. It was amazing. I don't know if it's my favorite one, honestly. but it is so good. I like whoever directed that short is actually I think I know who it was. It was I think his name is Jason Hill because he tweeted about it and I saw it on my feed. If I'm wrong, whatever.
If I'm wrong, screw it.
But this one just like I don't know. It had so many cool shots in it. The whole little story that it had within it felt like meaningful to the plot. Like I'm not trying to like
what happens in this in the short is kind of inconsequential in terms of what's going on, except for like the ending. But what's great about it is you could tell there's a lot of story there based on, like for example, the bandanas.
Yeah.
They say what is it?
Deadlock game.
Deadlock Rebels.
Yeah.
Well, the bandanas say Deadlock. Her jacket Ash says Deadlock Rebels.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, so there's a whole thing there because it's obvious that him and Ash used to run together.
Yeah.
Because when he takes off on her motorcycle, there's a picture of them two like sitting at a bar.
Yeah, and
And she keeps that picture there.
Yeah.
In her motorcycle.
You know what? It's okay. You brought that up. One little detail that I really liked about that shot is that you can tell that the photo's been ripped in half.
Right.
And like put back together.
Right.
So it's like she has like this love-hate relationship with McCree that like they're kind of like constantly at odds and whatnot. And I'm not sure like this is all like how communities speculate story stuff and lore stuff.
Right.
Apparently the bandana that she has on is like his old one or something.
Could be.
Because there's like a shot of him holding it. And she doesn't really have one of her own, or like it's not something I forget. Whatever. Like cuz I was like that's to me that's like arguable because I feel like didn't they all have bandanas? All the triplets and the
yeah,
three?
all of them had one.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know, whatever. Anyway. But I did like those three guys. The guys that she was with.
The goons.
Yeah, they were so like they were really how do I put this? Like they almost remind me of like Team Fortress 2. Like,
they were very animated.
They were like very animated, really wacky, and then like to have them dealing with like stuff like explosives is just so like it's really funny to me. It's like
I liked it because they weren't just like bystanders, they added to the plot. Like for example, you saw that one of them was a sniper.
Yeah. And
then McCree took care of the sniper by tying one of them up and like having it swing in front of him. He went, "Don't shoot."
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
Yeah,
He knows they won't shoot each other because they're at least they're a gang, but they don't like to kill each other. They're not cutthroat.
That part in particular made me laugh. Where he's like, "Don't shoot!"
And did you notice the reticule turned red, like when it moved over him?
Oh, did it?
It turned red, so I was like, cool. Okay, so they're keeping with the technology.
That shot is badass too, where it's like McCree's in the crosshair and he turns around and he shoots a sniper. It's like.
That's like, so dope.
Somebody knew.
So cool.
Somebody knew what they were doing with this fucking short.
I like the whole thing where he's in the diner while the train is about to crash. Because like that's how McCree is. He's just like he's just sitting there waiting for somebody to make a mistake or do the thing, and then he just kind of walks out there. He's like, I guess I'll just go take care of this now.
Yeah,
whilst I'm drinking eating my pie and drinking my coffee.
You know what? I was watching this thing from BlizzCon that had all the voice actors like on stage talking about like what they like about their characters that they voice.
Yeah.
And Matt Mercer, who does McCree's voice, was talking about how he really likes McCree because McCree's at this point in his life where he knows he's made a lot of mistakes.
Right.
And he's not necessarily trying to be like a real good guy because he feels like he can't be, because of his past. So he's like in this middle ground where he's just like I know what's right, and I'll help people out, but I'm not gonna like go out of my way. Like even at the end when they ask him to rejoin Overwatch, he's like, I don't want to do that. Like I just want to.
It's too much for me to come back.
Yeah, it's like it's really cool, and I was like, I like that, and it's true because he does come off that way, even though it's like we don't like before this short, all we knew was like voice lines and like there was like the archives thing, the like story mission. So there's not a lot to go off of, but the fact that you get that from that character already just by voice lines and things like that is so awesome to me.
Well, not only that, but we know that there's a picture of Overwatch that Winston has, and he showed it a lot in the past.
Yeah.
And I don't think correct me if I'm wrong, but is McCree in it?
Yeah.
He's in that picture?
Well, it depends on which one you're talking about, because there's one with, like, 76, McCree, and Genji, and, like...
No. I'm talking about the one where it's, like, Winston looks at it. It's I think it's during the Anna short, where it's, like, a bunch of them.
Okay.
I don't think, like, that he was like, oh, look at this team, and McCree's not in it, but Anna's in it.
Oh, okay, maybe.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
well, it's like, and then, but you also know from the DLC that he's been in Blackwatch.
Yeah, because McCree has been, he's younger, but he's still, like, how do I put this? Because, like, 76 and Anna are, like, the oldest members.
Right.
Along with, like, Reaper, who, like, supposedly died on some mission and he should be dead, but he doesn't show his face or whatever. McCree is just, like, one tier lower than that, so he's, like, he's younger than them, but he's still pretty damn old.
And Genji.
Yeah, and Genji. So that's
supposed to be dead.
That's essentially like what Blackwatch is. Like they're like the younger crew, but they're still old because like
and they're dead supposedly.
Because like New Age would be like Diva or like that's like the youngest character I believe. I'm not sure.
Tracer.
No, Tracer was part of the first arc.
She looks young, but maybe you're right.
She was in it with Reinhardt and Mercy and Torbjorn in the first. Do you remember that?
There's another one, Reinhardt. He's super old.
Yeah, it's like the four of them are like in they're all in blue or whatever. You
right.
Yeah.
No, I remember now. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so that it was really good. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't watched it, I suggest watching it at least four times.
Before you close up on this, when I watched it, I'm not into the game as much as you are anymore. Right. But at the end, he pulls out, essentially, the cargo that he was trying to get was this robot named Echo. And you were saying that, before Echo was something else.
Oh, yeah, because, so I don't know where people pull these fucking pictures out, but there's, like, concept art for, like, thousands of Overwatch characters. Mm-hmm. And there's, like, screen grabs of, like, certain things that people just pull from out of nowhere, seemingly. But Athena has popped up before in the backgrounds of stuff, and there's like the first official cinematic trailer. She's in it, but she doesn't have like a face. She's just like a robot with like a circle on the front of her face. Okay. And so what it looks like is like her name was Athena back then too. Okay. It looks like that now they've changed her into this character, which is named Echo, and she has like a human face. And Jeff said after the short had played. Jeff Kaplan was saying, he's like, we don't know what role she's going to be yet, but we know you guys like her design and all that, and that's why she's getting picked to be in the game and whatnot. And he's like, she's not even going to be the next hero. She'll be the one, like, maybe a few after. Like, she's really not ready, because they just don't know what to do with her. And I guess they really just want to make her, like, something special, you know? Because there's certain heroes that come out, and you can tell that they're, like, okay, they're more or less like runny shooty, you know, like, and then there's characters like Doomfist, where it's like Doomfist was announced basically in the cinematic trailer, the first one, the Gauntlet. That's it's in the museum with the kids or whatever. Right. They mentioned Doomfist, but he didn't come out until like a year after the game came out, because they were so like careful fine tuning him and making sure like his movement and everything is good, and he's like a really unique character, you know, because of that. And Hammond as well is like there is no other fucking character like this in like any FPS ever. He's basically like morph ball mode, like from like Metroid Prime, but he has like a pile driver, and he's a really advanced character. But like Anna or like Sombra or like even Moira to some extent are a little more run of the mill. You know, so I'm sure we'll get a bunch more of those before we get before we get Echo, who's like a big...
I thought for sure the newest character was going to be a dude, because they've done so many women so far.
Yeah, almost every single one. Doomfist is the only guy.
Hammond, if he's I think...
Hammond. You're right. No, I'm a liar. Yeah, you're right.
So in the trailer, they also revealed the new character, Ashe. Yeah, which obviously she has a past with McCree. Yeah, I know her hair is white, but she seems like she's a younger person in the game.
According to the website, she's 39.
Wow.
So, yeah.
No, she is older.
So I would assume either McCree is like younger by a little bit or the same age.
Or he's super old too.
Yeah, who knows? It's the future or wherever the fuck these people live. But
you've been playing her this last week, right?
Yeah, they put Ash on PTR on Monday, and I was so excited, just because I guess because she fits into McCree's storyline. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what was it, but I had not been so excited for a character ever, right? So I actually streamed on Monday, and I put up a little video of my highlights on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely go check it out. It's one of the videos in this
a real
on the YouTube channel.
Like a real esports kid. And I have to say she's an extremely fun character. And I know that's kind of a general thing to say, right? Every character's fun, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When Sombra came out, when Anna came out, when Hammond came out, I tried them on PTR for about 20 minutes, and I was like, I get it, okay.
But you're good. Not for me?
But yeah, I was like, McCree and Diva or Hanzo are my mains, right? So I'm just going to stick with them. I played Ash, and I was like, fuck, dude, this character is so good. And everything about her I love. Not just her voice. Her voice is, I believe her name is Jennifer Hale. So it's obviously somebody new to the cast or whatever.
Right, obviously.
But she has such a good, southern, accent. And, the way she screams, Bob, do something! Everything about the character is just, it's just so likable to me.
Okay, but, let's see, run us through the character.
But, gameplay-wise? Yeah. Gameplay-wise, I feel like she's a skill-based character, which is why I really like her. Not that, Anna and Hammond and whatnot aren't. But she's more my style, I guess, just because she does a lot of damage. Mm-hmm. And she gets a lot from just headshots and stuff like that, So, she has, obviously, her primary fire, right?
Right, the big rifle and the short.
Yeah, you just left click, and she'll just shoot from the hip.
Okay.
And it's this repeater rifle, kind of what are those called? Lever action.
You got it.
You use them in Red Dead. Everyone's playing
It's a
Red
rifle,
Dead, right? Yeah. Okay, so you have that, and you got 12 shots in it. And then you also have ADS, which apparently is aim down sights. Mm-hmm. So, Call of Duty or anything like that. Yeah. So you from the hip is less damage, and you fire faster. But if you aim down the sights, mm-hmm. I believe it's 175. It's a shitload of damage with a headshot. So it's a lot of damage, and you have really good accuracy because she's hit scan whatever, right?
Right.
So those are her primary fires. She also has this little shotgun, right? Okay. It's her shift ability. I don't know what it is on console. Shift. So it's a little shotgun that pushes her, kind of like Pharah's concussive blast. Okay. But this one she can aim at the floor, and she jumps really high into the air.
Oh, it rockets her into the air?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool because it's so satisfying to shoot yourself up in the air and take a skill shot and kill somebody as you're landing or something. It's
Can you jump and then use it as a double jump? Or do you have to be on the floor?
No, for sure, yeah.
Okay.
And actually, I was trying to test it out, but I'm not even sure that you need to have ground under you when you do it.
Okay.
So you can jump off a ledge and then do it, and she'll just propel herself higher without.
So it's a double jump essentially.
Yeah, exactly. It's really awesome. Except for the fact that you have to aim it, So whatever. And then her last ability is her dynamite.
Okay.
So
is it just like a grenade?
Kind of. It's just so you. She has a dynamo, right? She throws it. Mm-hmm. As soon as it lands, it has a 3-second timer.
Okay.
As soon as it lands. So you can throw it straight up into the air.
Can you shoot it?
Yeah. But you can. So I'm getting to that. You can throw it straight up into the air. Mm-hmm. And it'll go all the way up into the air, and then it'll land, and then it'll be 3 seconds.
Oh, so it's 3 seconds from the time it hits the floor.
Yeah, and that's important because when you throw it, mm-hmm. you can throw it basically as far as you want before you shoot it. But if it hits the ground, then it's going to go off 3 seconds. Whatever. Anyway, when she throws it, she basically throws it in front of her crosshair. Okay. So if you just want to want it to explode right away, you can just throw it and not move your cursor and then just click, and it destroys it. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but anything fancier than that. So if it bounces off a wall, or if you want to throw it farther into the fight, you have to skill shot it. So that's where it comes into play, which is the hitbox on it is not very forgiving. It's small.
Really?
It's small. It's a fucking pack of dynamite. So yeah. But the dynamite, when it explodes,
right?
First of all, does a shitload of damage, and then second of all, it lights people on fire.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So after you get hit by this initial burst of damage, you're just on fire and you're constantly taking damage until you get a health pack or like certain abilities take it off.
Okay.
Like Zarya can bubble you and she'll take it off, and like certain stuff happens like that.
Okay.
But yeah, and then so lastly, her ultimate ability is Bob.
Right. He's from the short too.
Yeah. So Bob is
he's a cyborg.
He's an Omnic. It stands for Big Omnic Butler.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why he wears that little hat.
Yeah. He's part of her origin story. If you didn't watch that, he like basically helped raise her because her family was like rich or something, and they.
But when McCree sees him for the first time, he's like, "Looks like Bob got some upgrades."
Yeah, because he knows about Bob. He's
oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Bob comes out wherever you're facing. He'll just beeline towards the first piece of like wall or geometry, and then he'll stop and he'll basically turn into a turret. So he'll just stand there and shoot. Auto target, whatever.
How long does he last?
Not very long, but he does a shitload of damage. He does like something like 2,000 damage. So
wow.
Yeah, and on average, characters have like 250 life, so 2,000 is a lot of damage.
Wow.
But so he stands there and he shoots whatever. If you actually aim him at a person, he'll fling them up into the air before he stops and starts shooting. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. And the most interesting thing about Bob is he's basically another hero, because if you shoot him onto the point, he'll contest it. So he can capture the point for you.
Oh, shoot, really?
Yeah, for as long as he's out. And also your teammates can heal him. And then I was playing, and Anna nano boosted him. So he's like basically another character. I think the only thing you can't do is resurrect him. So, but everything else is like fair game.
Wow.
So yeah, very, very cool. If you wave at him, he will wave back. I'm not joking. So it's
kind of fun.
It is. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm really happy with the character just because like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like I'm not saying like other characters are gimmicks, but I just really like how Ash is so straightforward, I guess.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to have any kind of like gimmick.
Yeah, exactly. And like her stuff still takes a lot of skill to pull off. Like you won't just be good with her just because she does a lot of damage. She's still a very skillful character. But it's been awesome, man, in PTR. Like I'm playing with like everyone's playing. It's Ash, obviously, right?
Right, of course. I saw your game. If you guys haven't seen the gameplay, go watch it because it's like it literally is Steven running around with a bunch of Ash characters in one part.
We were playing at one point. I was playing on Route 66. And it just looked like a fucking cowboy movie or something, because we're all just like peeking and shooting and like coming out from canyons and stuff and trying to snipe each other. It was just, I was like, oh man, this is what. Let me just get 4 more Wild West characters, like just McCree's crew, and we're good, dude. Like, it's good. So I'm very happy. There was like a ton of merch that went on to their store
for her.
Yeah. And this was before I saw the short, so I'm like, how am I supposed to? It's like I haven't even played her. How do I know if I'm gonna like her? You know,
you should just know.
All that shit sold out like within the fucking first minute. So whatever. I was able to get like a keychain.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, the one that she has on her motorcycle. So
neat. Yeah.
So yeah, whatever. I'm happy with that. I'm good. I got my piece of memorabilia.
He's like, yeah, Blizzard can just take my money now. That's good. Okay. They got my weekly donation.
Yeah. But yeah, so really exciting stuff from BlizzCon as far as I'm concerned. I know a lot of people were just like, oh man, this year was bad because of Diablo, but it's like, okay. One game is going to ruin the whole thing.
They really didn't have like anything for Hearthstone except like some new changes and stuff. They didn't have a lot for, like you said, Diablo, their big thing was the mobile app or whatever.
They were actually pushing the Switch version a lot. Like, I've seen a lot of ads.
They should, because I mean, think about it. It's just like Diablo on the go. That's where they know that. Listen, man. I know you don't want to hear this, but
I don't play Diablo. So.
A lot of no, it's a good game, but it's Diablo. You know, but it's been out for a while.
Right.
But it's like they know they should be pushing like a mobile agenda as well, because every kid's going like if they don't have their iPad, they're gonna have something else, right? So you got to put your game where the kids are. You know, and if they're always on iPad and mobile,
I don't know if Diablo's for kids, but sure.
You know what I mean? It's like technically you could like it's not a.
Oh, you're saying just like teenagers, anybody that plays games.
Exactly. That's kind of where they're playing. They're spending a lot of their time, so it makes sense to try and push your stuff on there. I mean, Fortnite's on mobile.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I definitely understand because even Fallout had like Fallout Shelter. Like to some degree, you want a presence on mobile nowadays.
Right.
No, I completely understand that. I just so like I don't know much about Diablo except the fact that it's like a dungeon crawler.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is.
So I'm just like, how much like
it has a story and everything. It's just that it's exactly what you think it is. It's
okay.
like some malevolent evil and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a fun game. If you get to play it with friends, it makes it a million times better. But it's a really fun game.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it out. I just know that like gamers do not react good to mobile anything. You know.
Well, because
like
you got a bunch of like the people who go to BlizzCon. They're purists. They don't want anything outside of PC.
No. Yeah. 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 I mean that goes without saying, I guess.
So it's like. Yeah, but the rest of the world might. Like, I don't think this move was for them. It was for everybody else who's ever wanted to try Diablo. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like people who don't have a PC or they don't want to get it on console because they're like, this game has really only ever been on PC. So blah blah blah.
When did Diablo 3 come out? Because I want to say,
dude, it came out a while ago.
I want to say that game came out like in 2000.
Don't you remember that it was called the Night of Errors when it first came out?
Oh really?
Do you not remember this?
No. Well, like I said, I didn't play Diablo. But I
but like it was infamous for the day it came out. It was like there was tons of errors for it.
I want to say it came out in 2010 because I had a lot of friends that were playing it.
Let's see, it came out 2012.
2012. Wow, that's
initial release for Diablo 3 was 2012.
Okay, still a while ago though.
No, for sure.
That's crazy that it's still around. I guess. Wait, so it didn't come out on Xbox One or PS4?
What do you mean? The Diablo 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, came out on Xbox One.
Those consoles were out in 2012?
No. It said initial release.
Oh, so they re-released. Okay. All right.
Even Mega 64 did a thing called Diablo 3 Night of 1,000 Errors. And it was just them, like trying to...
Oh, I do remember that. But the video was them...
trying to get online. And then just getting a bunch of errors.
Well, didn't they have like the real devil or something?
I don't know. I don't remember the video that much, but it's like all the thing was like... I'm getting a bunch of errors. And that was the whole thing.
What?
Nobody could get online.
I'm getting confused with the Dead Rising 3 video.
That's different.
There's a Dead Rising 3 video where they just literally like have the video paused for like an hour and a half because
it's loading.
Yeah, because the load times or something were stupid in Dead Rising or something. I forget. Whatever. But yeah, so that's your coverage for BlizzCon from us, which we
didn't go to. Maybe we'll go next year, but
very shortened. Very short and sweet.
Yeah.
I really want you guys to go check out McCree's short because it made.
It's one of the. For me, it's one of the best ones because it's like. I don't know. It builds so much anticipation in the very beginning of the short because it's all like it's McCree.
Yeah.
And they just show little bits and pieces of him.
That's why.
And then all of a sudden the action just starts and it's like. Just so much action.
I mean that's why I was trying to commend like the directing in it. Because, like, no offense to the Devo one, but the Devo one kind of felt thrown together.
It didn't feel thrown together. It just didn't feel as cinematic.
Well, to me, it's like, okay, it's like these things are coming to the city to destroy them. You gotta go get them. The whole thing is, like, she doesn't want help or something. I was like, okay. And then the shots weren't that cool. They weren't as cool. Like
that's what I'm saying. It didn't feel as cinematic because
this one had, like, a real build-up.
It has a nice. Well, it's McCree. He has a cowboy theme.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like all you have to do is follow the whole spaghetti western thing. Mm-hmm. He's like subtle hints at some real action that's gonna happen. The hero shows up and he's badass.
Oh yeah.
That's all you need, dude.
I love by the way how they talk just like cowboys and he's just like, that's none of your business. And she's just like, the way I see it. That is my business, And
Ash, it don't always gotta be like this.
Yeah.
And then he's got a cigar. I love that he takes the time to go.
Lights a
cigar, and he's like, all I want was what's in that crate.
Yeah, McCree makes me very mad that I can't grow facial hair because he's just like this perfect man, like this CG, like perfect CG skin, and I can't be this man.
I reckon that it is.
My favorite shot, I think everybody loves this shot too, is like the grenades. He shoots the grenades. He fucking right clicks
them.
Yeah.
And freaking hammers them.
And he like spins his gun and he puts it in his pocket.
As the dust is coming at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "It fight's done."
I was like,
putting it away.
So bad. Give me a gift for that. I will watch that shit all day. It is so satisfying. Like,
it is pretty badass.
Like,
that's why I say this has what a lot of other ones don't, and it's like iconic little moments in this short. One of him walking out of the dust to like confront Ash the first time. Him shooting all 3 grenades and then putting away his gun before the thing hits him. And then at the very end where he's reaching for Echo.
Yeah.
And then Echo goes like, "What happened here?" Because she's like referring to his left hand and how it's like all metal. Yeah. And he's like, "That's a story for another time."
Yeah.
And then he takes off on a motorcycle. I was like, dude,
almost
motorcycle.
Yeah, almost like Big Boss from Metal Gear 5.
Almost,
like when he's like on the motorcycle with the cigar and everything. But yeah, you know, and I was actually kind of like, I mean, not that they all have like their ults in their cinematics.
Sure.
But I was surprised they didn't try to like shoehorn in just him like saying like, "Oh, it's time."
It did happen. I'm telling you, it happened.
No, it was new, definitely. I get
That's why it's like the whole like in the short, you see the clock go tick tock, and then it goes right to noon, and then it was like, while we were watching it, I was like, "It's high noon," and then it went off, dude.
Yeah, but it's like, you know what I'm saying, right?
I do.
He didn't straight up...
But her ult was in it.
He didn't straight up, like, glow.
No, I know.
You know?
But her ult was in it.
Yeah, exactly.
She gives Bob the old elbow. She goes, "Do something."
You know what's awesome about that, too? Let me just talk about that for a sec. The way Ash is portrayed in this short is... it's crazy because when you play her in-game, she's actually, like, really calm. Like, her character, like, even, like, when you pick her, she just has, like, her hat down and she, like, slowly looks up as she, like, levers her gun. And she's really, like, calm. And, like, basically what I'm trying to say is that, like, in this short, you really get an idea of how much Jesse McCree, like, bugs her, you know?
Well, because you can tell that either they were in love or that was, like, her older brother.
Yeah.
I can't tell which one's which.
They had some kind of connection,
Yeah, they had some, like, a deep... family or romantic connection, and she's cocking her gun. That's what she's doing because she's popping out the old shell when she does that.
Yeah, but it's like she's basically the leader, you know, and
of this gang.
Yeah, and so like to see her like all hot headed and just like it's just so cool to see that because I feel like for the most part like in these shorts you don't really see people like that. You know, like you see May, she's being all scientisty, like McCree is being all badass, or like. You know, Sombra, she's all being all badass too, you know, in her short. Yeah. But in, like, I think with like maybe the exception of like Reaper maybe and like Widow who get their ass kicked a couple times.
Reaper like, hasn't had his own.
His own, no, but he's been in 3 of them.
Yeah, he's been in the Sombra one.
Yeah,
he's been in the Blackwatch one, and what else?
He's in the Winston one.
He's in the Winston one.
Yeah, the first one.
The one where he goes crazy. Winston goes all ape.
Yeah, because like for some reason Reaper's like he has like this big thing and he's like putting things on a USB basically and it's like hacking in progress or something.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. But yeah, that was all the Cowboy news, right?
Yeah. You know what? I was thinking about it too. Like, did they time that along with Red Dead Redemption on purpose? Like,
I mean, everybody's in cowboy mode.
You know,
I know
like,
that.
Yeah,
it's like everybody's like back to the Wild West. I am definitely loving Red Dead. Like initially that stupid snow intro was the worst thing I've ever seen.
No, but
obviously I'm joking. But like now that we're out of the snow and we can just ride around in the old West, I'm like, this is what I wanted.
Yeah,
and thank God they gave it to me.
I do like it a lot more now. It's gotten to the point where like I did the infinite gold glitch. Everything, you know, the world is my oyster at this point. I can do whatever the fuck I want. One of the first things I did was I went to go buy clothes. I have all this nice clothes in Red Dead. I look amazing, right? I actually recreated McCree's gambler skin from Overwatch in this game, and it still looks cool to me. But you can make your own gun basically. So you can buy I have what's called a volcanic pistol. and it's usually like this little like this hand cannon type gun.
Mm-hmm. But you can modify it to rapid fire.
Well, you can modify it in a lot of ways. What I did was like I made it so that the barrel's longer, so that it looks more like a traditional like revolver or something. And then I put like cool ass engravings on it. So my gun's like decked out. My gun looks badass, you know.
That's the best 6-shooter in the original Red Dead. Was the volcanic revolver.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all the other guns are locked for me, so I assume there's better weapons.
Of course.
But at this point of the game, I think I'm just like not supposed to be this rich. So
no. Plus, I think some of the other ones are based on people that you'll kill and take their weapons.
Oh, okay.
So that would make sense.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So like it's probably like story mission stuff. It's like
yeah.
Because there was that part that side mission where you get like a gun from everyone basically.
Right, from the photographer's thing.
Yeah. So yeah, like I don't know if I told you guys. I think I did. But, like, I got super pissed off at one point, and I was just killing people. Right. Because, like, everyone's so delicate in that game, it's, like, impossible not to build bounty, right? Mm-hmm. So I was finally able to pay off all my bounty thanks to this infinite gold trick. And so now I'm finally like, okay, this game is now playable again. And I like no word from Rockstar on this. They're like, I don't know if they're even going to patch it.
They'll patch it. They'll patch it eventually, because it's like, why not? They'll patch it out.
Yeah,
but the cool thing is, like in the game, all the stuff I was worried about initially, where it's like everything has a health bar to it, essentially. Now that I have plenty of money, it's just like I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, like
and all that stuff has just gone away. The only thing I really care about now is like you're saying about like your reputation and your bounty.
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff that like I'll walk into town and make sure I say hi to everybody.
Yeah,
because eventually like there's like a little cowboy icon that pops up, and that means your reputation in that town is better. So people don't just walk up to you and go like, we don't like your kind here in our town. They won't go like, why don't you get out of here?
You know what was dumb? Okay, this is this week's like stupid encounter in Red Dead, okay? I was in the bank, right?
Right.
And some guy bumped into me. And he was like, watch where you're going. And I didn't defuse it. And he's like, all right, that's it, let's go. And he like put up his fist. And he fought me in the bank, right? So I'm like, I don't want to punch him. Because something's going to happen, right? And eventually, like, the security guard at the bank was like, I'm going to fucking shoot you. Just because, like, I don't know what was happening.
You?
Yeah, like, I guess I was causing the disturbance somehow or something.
No, it's just that you're wanted and you're in a bank.
I had all my bounties paid off. I just had enough people pissed off, I guess.
Wow.
But so, yeah, they killed me. And I was like, great, whatever. And it cost me, like, $150. Which is chump change to me, but still, I know.
Jesus.
So yeah, that's we've been playing Red Dead. We've been enjoying it. We've also been playing Night Trap.
Oh jeez.
Why are you saying oh jeez for, Ernie?
Cause it's just like you love that game, and I'm just like I'm watching you enjoy that game.
Dude, I have never been so like enamored by a game like in so long. Like it's just like the charm and the novelty of this idea, you know, that like we're gonna get like full motion video and like just the way the game plays out, where like there's simultaneous events going on, you know, and like you have to manage like what camera you're looking at and stuff. It's like, what am I trying to say? Something you can't do nowadays. Like I know there's
totally you could do it nowadays.
I know there's like Five Nights at Freddy's, right?
Right.
But like. This game was born out of that era, you know, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like the full motion video and like the fact that the screens are like smaller because they can't have the video take up the whole thing and whatnot.
Well, because to render that kind of video would take a lot of memory. Yeah. So they just have it as like, oh, this is a security camera. So it's like a quarter of the size of the actual thing, and then like the video is all crushed. I mean, for 1992, it's really impressive. No, and I understand why, like, back then it was such a big deal. You had this essentially this is an interactive movie to me. And that's why I'm just like, I'm not that impressed with it. Because interactive movies are not my forte. I mean, it's weird. I like Five Nights at Freddy's a lot.
I believe you're playing Red Dead Redemption, right?
Listen, hold on. I like Five Nights at Freddy's, the lore of it.
Yeah.
Because it's this huge story, right? But playing the actual game, I hate it. I hate that game.
I don't want you to... I don't like you comparing it to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well, listen. I'm going to tell you why it compares it, right? Mm-hmm. Ready? So, in Night Trap, you have 8 security cameras that you have to look through. Yeah. And you can trigger things. Yeah. Depending on where you are. In Five Nights at Freddy, you are literally security guard watching cameras.
Is it the same thing?
And you're watching cameras and watching them come to you. Once they get to you, you have to like close door. You have to turn off electricity. You have to buzz them. Like it's literally watching cameras and seeing what happens.
Okay, so it's the same thing.
It's kind of the same thing.
So it's a fucking game from what was it called?
What?
Is it called Starguard?
You mean the company that like published it or the company that actually made it?
What was a game that came with Star Fox Zero? You're like watching little cameras.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, wasn't it called Zero Guard or something like that?
I don't know what it was called, but it sounds like you're talking about that too. Like it's the same thing.
A little bit.
Well, whatever. Anyway, it's just I don't know. It's a really charming game to me.
I think you're charmed because for one, there's super bad acting in it. Yeah, because it's like a Sega CD game where they were like, and you're part of the action, blah, 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 and they look at the camera a lot because you're supposed to be part of this team, this really bad team that's supposed to be protecting these people, and then while you're like surveying this house and trying to catch these aliens in your traps, like these girls are having a slumber party, and they're like, one of them gets a racket and she's like, look, I'm playing guitar, haha, I'm so funny, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, this is the worst thing ever.
I don't know what it is, man. I think it's like because we grew up playing Mad Dog McCree, and like we played it like Dracula and Hellcat, like these games where like they used
interactive movies.
They used like acting in place of like graphics, you know? And like I don't know, like to me that's just such a really like it's creative to me is what I'm trying to say, and it just like it's a cool way to circumvent like graphics. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I guess. Because here's the thing, right? In terms of this thing, like it becomes DDR at some point because you know where they're gonna come in first because it always plays the same video.
I wouldn't say DDR. Well, I guess like you're just memorizing shit.
Yeah, but it's kind of like Dragon Slayer, right? Like you know which way to go. You know when to push the button. You know blah blah blah. The only thing about this game is like they give you a couple things different. You have to watch all the cameras, right? But there's like parts where there are regular ass people there, and then there's parts where you look at the camera and there's what are called mutants. Yeah. And they're I can't even describe what these things are. They're like super bad actors in black costumes that are just roaming around the house, and once they get close to a trap in one of the rooms, you can push a button and then that like traps them, right? Yeah. But like it's not just that, because that would be easy. You have to actually go back to the parts where people are talking, like the regular people, because sometimes they'll change what's called the security code, and you got to listen in on that. And that's the part that randomizes. Yeah. So when they talk about, hey, we should go change the security code, they turn away from the camera. Yeah. So that they can like swap out orange, blue, yellow, green, or whatever.
It's this really bad like.
It's this really bad dubbing.
It's like it's like splicing, and it's just like we should change the code to orange. Yeah, but
that's why you have to listen in and be attentive of the people, so that when they change it, you're there to hear the new passcode color.
Yeah. So this game was originally on Sega CD.
Yes.
And that might be why I like it, because I did. So when I had a Sega CD and I was collecting a lot of retro games.
Oh my god.
I had Mad Dog McCree and I had Dragon's Lair. Sure. And Night Trap was like the.
That's the game to get.
It's the crown jewel, basically, of like Sega CD, because it's. Before the 25th anniversary version of this game came out, you couldn't play it, basically. Nope. Like, emulation was like pretty stupid for Sega CD, because I could never find one that actually did it right.
Right.
And like even at that, it's like good luck finding a ROM for it. Like, even if you get the emulator working right. And, like, pretty much everything else notable on Sega CD has been ported to everything else. Like, Mad Dog McCree was also on, like...
Was it originally on there?
What?
Sega CD.
Mad Dog McCree?
Yeah.
No, it was originally...
Because we played it on Mac.
It was originally an arcade game.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's where it was obviously just like a film. Like, man, they had to, like, as you said, crush the video. They had to, like, compress it for like other stuff. But it's like on Wii. I have it on Wii. And then like Dragon's Lair was the same deal where it was like an arcade and they have to like a crappy version on CD.
Sure.
But like even like Sonic CD got ported to like fucking iOS. It's like on everything. Night Trap was like the only game that was like you're only playing it on Sega CD for a long ass time.
Well, I think it was like here's the problem with a lot of those games, right? A lot of those games were like you have 1 or 2 actors in it, right? Uh-huh. But this game had like so many actors with so many voice parts in it because it was, and it shows on there. Was it 1.5 or 2.5?
It's like 1.5 hours
of full video.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, that's a lot of video, kind of thing.
To be fair, Mad Dog McCree did have a lot of characters too, but I know what you mean. Like the Martins or whatever, the family that's in there. They're like predominantly on the screen.
Right, and they have a lot of dialogue and everything. Like, just as an example, take Mad Dog McCree. You maybe have 4 people talk to you.
You have the Prospector, who's like the main guy.
You have the Prospector. You got the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Who's also the Doctor.
And Mad Dog.
Mad Dog, and then you have like 1 or 2 random cowboys that say things to you.
Yeah.
But it's like, I can see how you can get away with maybe porting that over and not telling those actors, because like I was in a video game but Night Trap is really infamous.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like it's been those gifs have been around everywhere. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's like, you got to pay me for those rights.
Yeah.
That Night Trap game, whatever. And by the way, here's the other snag, is that I don't know if anybody knows this, but Night Trap has its own theme song.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So because of that, they also like Night Trap. Because of that, look out behind you.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't even.
So because of that, they probably have to get the musical rights back from somebody too, because they're like, the game doesn't work without the theme song.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like you can't cut that out because they're singing it during.
They're literally singing it during the game, which makes no sense.
No, yeah, you bring up a good point. But that's another reason why I'm so glad that it's out, because it's like, and it's like I'm not like, all joking aside, the game is very 2-dimensional. There's not a lot to it, but there's just something about like it
is fun.
And there's just something about the fact that like, I can't believe this game exists. Like, somebody fucking did this.
Somebody hired these people and were like, this is going to revolutionize the gaming industry. You just watch.
Yeah, it's almost like, to me, it's almost like Conker's Bad Fur Day, because it's like it was such a point of controversy too.
Right.
That it's like, it's gotta be interesting, for that alone, for the controversy alone.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, right?
It's it's a little more lighthearted than something like Conker, but yeah.
I actually think Night Trap in itself, if you take it from where it was, like in where it was put, it almost feels like a proof of concept, doesn't it? Like he's like, look at what we can do with full motion video, and like this is a security camera. We could do so many things with this, and here's a perfect way to do a horror. They did a horror. They did a zombie game like this. No, they did a bunch of stuff.
You're completely right, and that's why I think I find it like so interesting, because it's like you said it yourself. It's like you're getting anxiety playing this game.
Yeah.
Because you have so little control of what's going on screen.
Yeah.
Like that the suspense and the thrills are actually real, like you would feel in a horror movie or something.
Yeah. If you guys haven't checked it out on Steve's YouTube channel, we played we attempted it twice to play Night Trap.
I want to finish out the whole week with those, so we're gonna continue, or we're gonna keep playing.
But dude, check it out. It's probably the funniest thing we've ever recorded. Seriously,
I'm having such a good time playing that game. But yeah, like you make a good point too, that it's like with full motion video, probably the extent of like gameplay that you're gonna get, like as far as like what you said, like concepts. Mm-hmm. Probably like the best one to do with full motion video. It's like, what else could you possibly do with like...
There's more stuff, especially if you try to do the same deal with like DDR, kind of like Dragon's Lair thing. That's another example of what it can be done. But it's like, this was like, that was their whole concept, was to do that. Like everything led into something else to trigger another video. But this is one where you put the triggering of a video in the player's hands. Like you could go to any one of these like screens and watch it.
Yeah.
And you could miss something.
because of the fact that it's like static shots.
Exactly.
You could totally like, it's like this old kind of like joke of like, oh, the security camera's just gonna have like a picture on it. You know, like people do that all the time. Like like hack into the camera and loop it so that it like it's like, I don't know.
That's so
yeah.
But yes, I know that trope. I mean, it's a great like piece of gaming history, really. Because you thought I was gonna say it's a great game. It's not really a great game, but what it is like you buy the game's so cheap.
It is that's another thing too. Like it is probably why I like it so much is like the historical significance of it.
Yeah,
it's like it was one of the games that helped like found the ESRB if I'm not correct.
Yeah.
But like it's true. It's like it's just if you know anything about gaming history, Night Trap existed at one point and like helped people like what am I trying to say like regulate video games.
Yeah.
I guess
it was games like Mortal Kombat, games like Night Trap, just games that were like, oh man, these games are actually. They have a lot of adult content in them, and it's like you can't see nudity in Night Trap. But it was like there's a girl in a bathroom and she's wearing a like she's only wearing a towel or something, and like so it was like people could understood that. Wow, these aren't just for kids, and this isn't just toys and everything.
It was like the fantasy of it, I guess. Like, what was that called? Like the voyeurism.
Yeah.
Of like watching somebody like do something. It's like I don't know. Maybe that's why I like it. Maybe I'm a sicko. Who knows?
Well, we know that already. Okay. Because you just like bad things. So only a sicko would like bad things. But it's true. It's one of those things where during the 90s it was a big deal to a lot of people. They're like, look, it's Night Trap and these people are getting murdered. And like there's as an example, there was a moment where one of the aliens or one of the Martians captures one person. Uh-huh. And like it's not as, by today's standards, probably not as graphic, but back then, I could see why people were like, "Oh my gosh, that you can't show that in a video game."
It scared me, man.
They have these claws, and the claw grabs you by the neck, and then there's a little tube that drains your blood out from it. And I was like, "Oh my god, that's so sick."
The sets too just remind me of like WMAC Masters and like those old sets where they would just use like an abundance of fog to cover up like. To just cover up like crap.
There's fog outside. There's lots of fog.
Like just push them into a black room and there's fog that comes out. Just do it, all right? But yeah, so we have a few more minutes here. I might as well mention that Smash Brothers. They announced the last 3 characters that are going to be in the game.
Right.
So we got Ken.
Right.
Which was confirmed by the leak, and then we got some fucking cat from Pokemon. The name escapes me at the moment.
Insector or Infernois or something like that.
Incinerat,
something like that.
Incinerat. And then we have Piranha Plant. Okay?
Which was, I mean, whatever.
I mean, it's probably you want about Piranha Plant. I like them.
It's gonna be one of those things where it's ridiculous and dumb, but then all of a sudden it's like the best character in the game. I wouldn't be surprised.
I like Piranha Plant. What am I supposed to say? I think he's cute. I like his little lips and like his sharp teeth and how he's polka dotted and how he has his little leaves are like part of his attacks. I don't know. I think he looks cool. I mentioned this to you a while back, which was like, would it be stupid if they just put Boo into Smash Brothers?
And I said yes.
And you were just like, yeah, it would be dumb because he could float. Like, how are you gonna? But the concept of just putting a regular Mario enemy in the game...
Are you just going to take credit for that then?
No, I just think it was like... It would be interesting, right? Because...
I guess we'll see.
Like if they put a Koopa or if they put a Paratrooper or if they put like Lakitu or something... Mm-hmm. I don't know. I would be like, cool. But I don't know. Like, it's a fucking Nintendo game. What do you want from it? You know, like...
Now, when you say that that's the full roster... Uh-huh. Does that necessarily mean that no Echo characters are left?
Well, okay, so Ken's obviously an Echo Fighter. Right. But Piranha Plant is actually DLC. Right. So if you buy the game or if you pre-order, he's free for you. Okay. And then they have DLC planned. And what they want you to do is just buy it without knowing who the characters are. Which is a little bit strange. But these are the things that Nintendo gets away with because they're fucking Nintendo. So. Right. All I have to say is that I'm glad I don't have to buy it for 3DS and Wii U. Right. You know, because it was a pain in the ass having to buy every single character and then saying like, I might as well get it for my 3DS because I do play it sometimes. You know, like all inclusive.
That was kind of lame.
But I don't know. Like honestly, like I just want to play the game at this point. You know.
I do too.
Like they announced like also World of Light, which is like their kind of like their 1-player mode.
Right, the adventure mode.
Yeah, which looks
that stars Kirby.
Kirby, my little boy, my little loving son, my boy. Glad he escaped. I'm Kirby. If you can hear this right now, I'm glad you're alive.
The stupidest death in that was Snake.
In the box.
In the box.
And people made so many jokes out of that. Like they put they made like tier lists that were like. This is a tier list ranked by how people got away, and like Snake was in the one with with Wii Fit Trainer and Villager and Splatoon kids as like
they just stood there.
Thinking standing in place was the most effective strategy, and then like Kirby's was like actually escape death that he was at the top, and then like Sonic was somewhere in the middle because he was just like could have escaped but slowed down to help Pikachu and died. Something where anyway So yeah, it's like this little adventure mode. It's a remnant of like some kind of subspace emissary thing.
I wonder if they're gonna use bad, like you saw that it was like the thing in the air that launched this huge attack on them had like all these wings. So do you think it's gonna be the bad guy from like the Wii U version?
I don't know.
You know which one I'm talking about, right?
No.
So. I forget. It's in
Brawl.
It's in Brawl. Yeah, it's in Brawl that when you beat Master Hand, there's something controlling Master Hand.
Yeah, it's this thing called Taboo.
Yeah, and so I mean, technically, he could fit in because remember he was using Master Hand as like he had him as puppet strings. Yeah, and the beginning of this thing is like 100 Master Hands coming at you.
Yeah, so Sakurai made it so like abundantly clear like before like he starts talking about World of Light that like I want you guys to remember that it was just like they're just toys, and that's why the Master Hand is there is because he's just like like the kid's hand or whatever the fuck, right? So I don't know. Maybe the end of this game is like the end of the Lego Movie, where like
you see a kid come in and be like,
like Will Ferrell shows up or something. I don't know. But I just want to play it at this point. Like I said, it comes out like in 2 or 3 weeks or something.
You said November or December?
December 7th, I believe.
That's like in 4 weeks.
I'm so excited, dude. I'm so glad I'm gonna be able to play Smash on my Switch.
It's literally, if it's December 7th, it's literally a month away.
So, like, at this point, I think, like, any kind of announcement is going to be, like, underwhelmed by the fact that, like, the game's going to come out already. It's already
Unless they announce a special edition Switch version that comes with it.
They already did.
There is a Switch version.
There's a Switch that has, like, them on it. It looks stupid, but you can get it if you want.
There you go. That's another thing.
A lot of the stuff is for sale right now. Like, the Switch is actually on... I saw it at Target. You can get it and you'll just get the download code like when
it comes out.
Yeah, or something.
Damn, that's cool.
And then like I saw the GameCube controllers with the new Smash logo on it, which is like cool. You want to put GameCube controllers on the market?
Hell yeah.
I'm fucking down, dude. Yeah, I can't get enough of those things.
And you don't even need the thing to split a controller or anything because the USB ones work right on the Switch.
They should, yeah. The docks from the original, from the Wii U and stuff.
No, I mean they just work on this one.
What do you mean?
Because supposedly one of the early on updates was like, now controllers will work if you plug them into the dock.
USB dock?
Yeah.
Like USB controllers?
Yeah, supposedly.
I think they meant like I don't know, whatever. I know you can obviously use your adapter from Wii U, your GameCube adapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, that's gonna be great. I can't wait to fucking play that game. Like, Jesus Christ, I feel like we just went to E3, right?
Yeah.
This year went by like so fast, dude.
And Steve and I got to play Super Smash way back in the day.
Yeah, I can't wait to play Ridley. Like, fuck, dude, it's gonna be so awesome.
Oh my god, that was freaking awesome.
But yeah, so that was pretty much it. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I should mention real quick, this last week was just really great for me for a lot of reasons, like McCree, and all that stuff. But it was Halloween. And I dressed up as Sherlock Holmes, and I have never been so happy to be in a set of clothes in my life. I was the greatest detective in the world that day.
Sherlock Holmes.
I was Sherlock Holmes. But we didn't even mention Halloween last week, so I just
I got to wear a onesie to work.
You did.
That was
who were you?
I was Stitch.
Stitch. Nice.
So it was essentially this onesie PJ that you could buy, and it had like the hoodie that had Stitch's head on it.
All right, that's cool.
It's great.
That's easy. Yeah.
And then some girl at work dressed up as Lilo.
Okay.
So we took pictures together. That was fun.
Okay, I don't see the correlation there, but okay.
What do you mean?
But yeah, so I hope you guys had a nice Halloween last week, whatever you did. I just went trick or treating with our nieces and nephews and had a good time. They get tired after like 45 minutes, dude.
My son didn't even want to go out.
Yeah,
we tried to make him go out and trick or treat,
and
he just didn't want to leave the house. So we just stayed at the house. And he handed out candy. Like, he literally got the candy and put it in kids' pails.
That's cool.
That was nice and sweet.
That's adorable. Yeah, like, you know, like, I don't want to harp on it too long, but I feel like less people are doing it now.
That's probably true.
I wonder if it's like this whole, like, not that people are, like, too sensitive nowadays, but, like, people are so cautious nowadays, like...
No, I think it's you know how less and less people are doing fireworks?
Yeah.
It's the same concept. It's like, why buy fireworks when I could just go somewhere,
watch them for free,
and they're gonna have them there for free? They're like, should we go out trick or treating when there's like this community's like, help keep our kids safe and just come here and we'll give you free candy.
Oh yeah, like they do trunk or treat now.
Yeah.
So it's like they just
they take a kid to like a parking lot and then they'll do that, or you can go to Disneyland and trick or treat, or you can go to any number of places.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there's like you have a lot of different options now, and I think like neighborhood trick or treating. It's like, I hate to say it, but it just feels like it's like a dying art.
We got more than I thought we would. We got rid of all our candy, so I was very happy.
Oh wow, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I usually just leave a bowl outside. Usually gets dumped out by the first kid, but you know, whatever. At least they know that I tried. You know, like, do whatever you want. $1 is like fucking bag of candy, like $5. So, you know.
By the way, something that popped up this year that I think is going to be like a growing tradition is that people will leave that bowl out. But because more and more people have doorbells with cameras on them and things like that.
Or like security cameras.
Yeah. People are going out and then watching their cameras, because as soon as somebody moves into the front of your house, your cameras or your system sends you an email or a text and says, hey, somebody's at your door. And then you go to it, right? And then you can watch a kid. And if they take more than they should, a lot of these have like microphones that you can talk into. So it's like, I said just one, and then it'll come out, and you can actually mask your voice on it too.
Oh, that's cool.
So a lot of people were like sharing videos on Halloween where they would like, as soon as somebody reached in from where they're like, that's enough candy, and like they would like scare kids. Funny. So you know,
that's a great little holiday tradition.
Now it started because so many people, like, we're gonna get one eventually to have like one facing the outside and everything. So it'll be fun. It's going to be fun coming up the next years, because I've seen all sorts of people, like, one person hooked up his ring to the lights in the front of his house.
I saw that one, actually. I know which one you're talking about.
And it was like, as soon as he pushed something, like, the lights would flash, and it made, like, a scary...
Oh, okay, never mind. Because I saw one where, like, these kids come up, and they both take one apiece, and they leave. And then this, like, neighbor lady comes up, and she takes the whole thing. Yeah. And he was just like, look at how scummy my neighbor is. Like,
yeah, I saw that. Like, the kids just take 2 pieces each, because it says 2 pieces per kid. Yeah. And the neighbor lady just, like, dumps handfuls into her too. Like,
Jesus, God.
Well, she's on camera now, so that's great. No, but some people have hooked it up so that, like, if they want, they can push a button, and it, like, creates, like, this little light show where it's all scary and it'll scare the kids. So that's cool. Fun. And you don't even have to be home.
Yeah, I'm glad people, you know, like, because like I said, like, Halloween's like more famous every year. I feel like people really like it. Yeah, go all out with it, like with decorations and stuff. And
we certainly did it my way.
Make some elaborate, like, crazy shows and things for kids to get scared of. You know, like whatever. Keep the tradition alive. Whatever.
Definitely.
All that good shit. But yeah. So was that you already? Come on, we're doing a show here. Just wanted to remind you guys real fast that we have a SoundCloud.
Right.
We are the Radio Toons podcast on SoundCloud.
And on iTunes.
And we're also on iTunes, the Radio Toons podcast. How do you like that, huh?
That's great. So it's not only here on YouTube, it's on SoundCloud and iTunes. If you have a minute, go ahead and leave us a little review on iTunes, because it actually does help push us out to other people. So, the more star ratings we get and all that stuff, the more it'll appear on the front page of the iTunes or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So any final thoughts, Ernie? Anything you want to add?
Not much. Just if you want to hit us up, Steven is at Soho Shuffle.
That's right. On Twitter.
On Twitter. And I'm at Neo Ernie. You'll find us on Twitter for sure.
Yeah.
And hit us up if you have any other suggestions for anything you want us to play or anything you want us to cover.
if you want us to talk about something, you want to recommend a TV show or a movie or something, sure, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Or maybe we won't. Who knows? You don't know. That you'll be in suspense the whole time. That's the fun of it, right?
That is fun.
But that does it for this week, guys. See you next week.
See you next week, guys.